Greetings everyone and welcome back, this is Marco and today we're taking a look at the Pentacon 50mm 1.8. Pentacon 50mm was mass-produced. It was sold as a kit standard lens on Praktica and Pentacon cameras, usually with an M42 mount. So they should be pretty easy to cam around and pretty cheap to buy. Although in the last couple years, this is the only one I found, and it was pretty cheap though. And as we saw last time with the Petri 55mm, just because it's a standard kit lens, it doesn't mean they're bad. Actually, the Pentacon is really good. And for me, it was love at first shot. Let's be honest, I haven't done much research this time. I know the brand more or less. I liked the lens and it was fine for me. I didn't need to go deep into researching. Plus, the good old Mark Holtz has already published a very in-depth and, as always, very well done video, so check it out, link somewhere. But for what I found, the one that I got, this version with the double chrome rings and the stripes all around, should be the earliest version, the one closer to the original Meyer-Gorlitz optics design. I hope I pronounced that right. So what is it that makes this lens so good for me? Well, obviously image quality, and we'll talk more about later. It is small, compact, works great. Focusing, it's really precise and easy. Some lenses, for some reason, I don't know why, some lenses are hard to focus properly. And it's not about the focus throw, because I've had lenses with really short focus throw that were super easy to focus, and others with a really long 360 degrees focus throw that were hard to focus. So I don't know, let me know in the comments what you think about, but this one, it's easy to use, it's immediate. And again, image quality is peculiar. And one of the most looked after characteristic of this lens is the minimal focusing distance, being able to focus up to 33 more or less centimeters close. So yeah, minimal focusing distance is really close, and you have to be careful because really, depth of field is razor thin, so it's hard to focus on a single petal of a flower. Yeah, but the results are, interesting at least. Something that impressed me right away of this lens is how sharp it is. Right from 2.8 it gets really sharp. I would say sharper than many modern lenses. And yes, wide open it is, softer and glowy and kind of dreamy, but we all love that look, let's just admit it right away. And colors are neutral, I would say. They're not punchy, they're not vibrant. Contrast is actually on the lower side, but I don't mind it. It contributes to that vintagey look. Bokeh in this lens is subject of discussions, because at 1.8 it's creamy and soft and round as usual, but stopping it down it becomes more geometrical, hexagonal to be precise, and it's really obvious and distinct. Personally, I love it, especially when shooting in the nature. It gives a nice contrast with these really bold geometrical regular hex shapes in the background, contrasting with the subject with a flower or something like that, more natural and round and pleasing. So I have learned to love it, but many people despise it, really hate it. And again, it's a matter of your personal taste, but I found it interesting, different. One of those quirks that I look in a vintage lens, that I look for in a vintage lens. And I like it. I just do. Talking about personal taste, this lens does produce a little bit of swirl in the background. It's not there all the time and it's not too present, it's not too much. Enough for me to like it, because I don't really enjoy when it's more swirly background than subject. But you know, this lens produces just that much and with just a little bit of character that I still like it and enjoy it, and most important, it's not there all the time. So yeah, you be warned. And to conclude this little excursion on the characteristic of this lens, chromatic aberration doesn't seem to be a problem, didn't show up in my testing, but it did show some purple flaring that, you know, can be interesting at times. But that's enough of me talking, let me show you some samples. And there we go, those were some samples that I shot with the Pentacon 50mm 1.8 in the last few months. By now it's probably clear that I really like this lens, I enjoy shooting with it, I like how it handles, I like the images that produce, I like its quirks, and it's fair to say that it has earned its place in my collection. So what about you? What do you think about this lens? Do you own one? Have you ever used one? Do you want to own one now? Let me know in the comments. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And yeah, as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.